It begins with a warning: no trespassing. A sign on a wrought iron fence, guarding the private kingdom of Charles Foster Kane. We drift past its silent grounds toward a single lit window high in the main tower. Then, the light goes out. Inside, a hand releases its grip. A snow globe shatters. From the lips of the dying man, a single, enigmatic whisper escapes into the stillness. Rosebud. Charles Foster Kane is dead. The man who had everything has passed into legend, leaving behind a final, baffling mystery. The world he so desperately tried to own now clamors for an answer. Almost immediately, the machinery of his own creation roars to life. News on the March, the newsreel series Kane himself pioneered, attempts to piece together his public self. The reel proclaims him a titan, a communist, a fascist. It shows the empire he built. Newspapers, radio stations, shipping lines. We see his 2 marriages, first to a president's niece, then to a struggling singer. We see him running for governor, his voice thundering from podiums, only to be silenced by scandal. And we see Xanadu, his sprawling, unfinished fortress filled with enough art to stock 10 museums. The newsreel gives us the facts, the public triumphs and failures. It paints a portrait of a colossus, a man of immense power and contradictions. But it's a flat image. It tells us what Kane did, but not who he was. The producers in the screening room know it. The story is missing its heart. It's missing the one thing that might make sense of it all: Rosebud. The assignment is given to a reporter, Jerry Thompson, a man whose face we never clearly see, making him a stand-in for our own search. His task is simple, yet impossible. Find out what Rosebud means. Thompson is skeptical. It'll probably turn out to be something simple, he muses. But his boss is adamant, believing the answer to Rosebud is the key to the man. And so, Thompson begins his quest, a journalistic ghost hunt into the past. He becomes an archaeologist of memory, digging through the lives of the people who knew Kane best. Each person holds a piece of the puzzle, a shard of the broken mirror that was Charles Foster Kane. But as he soon discovers, every reflection shows a different man. Thompson's first stop is the private library of Walter Thatcher, the Wall Street banker who became Kane's guardian. Thatcher's memoirs tell the story of Kane's beginning, which was also his first great ending. We are transported to a snowy landscape in Colorado, 1871. A boarding house owned by Kane's mother sits on land containing a massive gold mine. For Mary Kane, this fortune is a way out for her son. She arranges for Thatcher to take young Charles away, to raise him in a world of money and education, far from his abusive father. The scene is thick with tension. Mary is resolute. She signs the papers that will secure her son's future, but sever his childhood. Outside, 8-year-old Charles is playing in the snow, oblivious, happy on his simple wooden sled. When Thatcher approaches to take him, the boy resists, striking the banker with that very sled. He is being saved, but it feels like a betrayal. He is being given the world, but all he wants is the snow, his mother, and his sled. His childhood is traded like a stock certificate, a transaction that will fuel a lifelong quest to reclaim something he can never get back. At 25, Kane inherits his fortune. Instead of managing his assets, he does something outrageous. He decides to run a newspaper, the struggling New York Enquirer. To him, it's not a business, it's a toy, a platform, a weapon. He bursts into the newsroom with manic energy, declaring, "I think it would be fun to run a newspaper." He drafts a Declaration of Principles, promising to be a tireless champion for the common man. At first, it seems genuine. He launches crusades against corrupt monopolies and slumlords. He uses sensationalism and giant headlines to boost circulation, arguing the public deserves excitement. He even poaches the entire staff of the rival Chronicle in a single, audacious move. He is a showman, a revolutionary, transforming the very nature of journalism. Thompson interviews Mr. Bernstein, Kane's loyal general manager, who remembers the early days with fondness. To Bernstein, Kane was a hero. But the reporter also speaks with Jedediah Leland, Kane's best friend and the Enquirer's first drama critic. Leland offers a more complicated view. He was drawn in by Kane's charisma and noble ideals, but he also saw the cracks forming early on. Leland saw how Kane's desire to be loved by the masses slowly morphed into a demand for their loyalty. The crusades for the little guy became crusades for Charles Foster Kane. Leland recognized that Kane didn't want to give his readers the news. He wanted to give them news. He built loyalty with grand gestures and then bent it to his will, expecting friends to be subjects in his kingdom. For Charles, the principles were never as important as the power they brought him. Kane's ambition could not be contained by print. He marries Emily Norton, the niece of a sitting U.S. president, a move that gives him social legitimacy and a path to political power. Their marriage, captured in a brilliant breakfast table montage, shows the slow decay of their relationship into cold, silent distance. With his public image polished, Kane launches a populist campaign for governor of New York, positioning himself as the people's champion against the corrupt political boss, Jim Geddes. He is on the verge of a landslide victory, but Geddes has a trump card: Kane's affair with a young woman named Susan Alexander. In a tense confrontation, Geddes presents an ultimatum: withdraw from the race, or the affair will be made public. Kane's pride is absolute. He refuses to be blackmailed. He chooses defiance. The scandal erupts. The election is lost. Emily leaves him. He loses the people's love, and in that moment, something in him hardens forever. He famously tells Leland, "The people will think what I tell them to think." Thompson's search leads him to a dingy nightclub, where he finds Susan Alexander Kane, now an alcoholic. Her memories are bitter. After his political defeat, Kane marries Susan. He decides that if the public won't love him, he will force them to love her. He becomes obsessed with transforming her into a world-famous opera star. He builds her a magnificent opera house and pours millions into her promotion. The only problem is that Susan has no real talent or desire for the grand opera stage. Her debut is a catastrophe. She is terrified, her voice weak. Kane, watching from the wings, knows it's a disaster. But he forces himself to lead the applause, a lonely, defiant clap in a sea of polite silence. The next day, Jed Leland, as the paper's drama critic, starts to write an honest, scathing review, but passes out drunk. Kane finds him, reads the brutal opening lines, and then, in a moment of strange, painful integrity, he finishes the negative review himself, firing his best friend in the process. After the opera fiasco, Kane retreats with Susan to Xanadu. This is where his isolation becomes absolute. The mansion is less a home than a warehouse for the world's treasures. He buys statues and paintings by the shipload, filling cavernous rooms with crated, unexamined history. For Susan, it is a gilded cage. She wanders the echoing corridors, dwarfed by the scale of his possessions. To pass the lonely days, she works on jigsaw puzzles, piecing together fragments on the floor of a room the size of a cathedral. The more Kane fills the rooms with things, the emptier their life becomes. Susan craves connection, but Kane can no longer connect. Love, for him, has become a transaction. He gives her everything money can buy, and in return, he demands her presence. He doesn't want a partner. He wants a possession. When she finally tells him, "You don't love me. You want me to love you," the truth is laid bare. The breaking point is inevitable. After a final argument, Susan leaves him. For the first time, someone he has tried to control has broken free. Alone in her room, his carefully constructed world shatters. In a fit of blind rage, he destroys everything around him. He tears the room apart until, by chance, his hand falls upon a small snow globe. He picks it up and the rage subsides, replaced by a profound, hollow sorrow. He clutches the globe and walks like a ghost through the endless corridors of his empty palace, muttering the name that has haunted him, Rosebud. Thompson's investigation ends at Xanadu. He and the other reporters gather amidst the clutter of Kane's life, now being cataloged or discarded. They have failed. "I don't think any word can explain a man's life," Thompson concludes. He decides Rosebud will remain a missing piece. As the reporters leave, the camera pans over an ocean of Kane's possessions. workers are told to burn anything worthless. They toss old furniture and forgotten crates into a massive furnace. And then, for a fleeting moment, we see it. A worker picks up a simple, old wooden sled, the same sled from that snowy day. He throws it into the fire. As the flames lick at the wood, the camera pushes in and we see the name painted on it just before it's consumed. Rosebud. The secret is revealed, but only to us. It was a memory, a symbol of the one thing his money could never buy back. A moment of simple love and security before he was sent away to become great. In the end, the search for Rosebud is a misdirection. A single word can't define a life. The film is a profound meditation on power, loneliness, and the price of becoming a legend. Kane gained the world but lost his soul, forever chasing the warmth of a childhood memory swallowed by flames. As the film closes, we see smoke rising from Xanadu's chimney, carrying the last remnants of his secret into the night sky. The camera pulls back, past the iron gates, to the no trespassing sign. A warning, perhaps, that no one can ever truly enter the private world of another human being.